Hey everyone, Courtney here with Scott Financial and Care. I just wanted to do a quick little video. This is mostly for potential clients or current clients of a life insurance and retirement planning producer or agent, right? So, how to prepare for your meeting with your life or retirement planning agent, right? This kind of helps the meeting go a little bit quicker. Usually, these type of meetings can last up to an hour. Sometimes less than that, obviously, if it's just you getting a policy for yourself. However, if you're getting a policy for someone else as well, or multiple people, the meeting can go a little bit longer just because you have to go through that. You have to find the right product for that particular person. If they have health conditions or something like that, you have to structure the policy to tailor to that client's needs and wants, and obviously their needs or their wants is including their budget, right? So basically, prior to meeting with your agent, I would recommend in having a notepad and pen, write down your health conditions, write down any current medications that you take, or just have them remind yourself to have your medications right there with you. Now, most in this day and age, a lot of us life insurance and retirement agents, we are mostly conducting our meetings via phone or video chat. Okay, and and we're not really going door to door. However, you do have some that still kind of go door to door. Obviously, you want to practice safety, especially in these times, right? But everything is mostly done over the phone or video chat if that agent and or client prefers it that way. So have your medications ready to give to your agent when they ask for it. Because they're going to need the name of the medication, and of course you're going to have to spell it out because none of these medications are easy to spell out, and the dosage and how frequent that you have to take these medications. I would also recommend on your notepad writing down any type of health conditions or events that took place in your life or in your the other people that you are getting the policy for in their lives in the last 5 to 10 years. Okay. Most of the underwriters for the different carriers look as far as 10 years in regards to any health conditions. Because when your application is getting submitted, it goes to the underwriter of the carrier, and the carrier runs your information against the Medical Information Bureau. That's all your medical records. Anytime you went to a hospital, urgent care, your doctor, or a different doctor, it's all there, right? No, your credit is not being ran. It doesn't mess up your credit, nothing like that. No. But it might be similar to that, but it doesn't affect your credit scores or anything like that. Okay. They also check pharmacy records as well. So that's why I said write down any medications you currently take. And I will also recommend, if you used to take any medications within the last 5 or 10 years, if you could remember the name of it or what you took a medication for, that's something that's good to mention to your agent. If you don't remember the medication name that you took, that's okay, because when the underwriter runs your information in the database, if they see something that wasn't mentioned on the application, then they'll reach out to your agent and ask your agent to ask you about that, right? Or to kind of jog your memory about it. If it happened, obviously, like I said, within the last 5 or 10 years from the date that you meet with your agent, okay? So you want to write down any health events that may have occurred, heart attacks, strokes, mini strokes, anything, cancer, any type of, or something with your lungs, or did you have organ transplant surgery? Did you have anything, decapitated? Did you have like surgery to remove a limb or something to that sort? And you want to mention things like that. Another thing you want to have prepared, if you are getting a policy on someone else, make sure you have their social security number available. Make sure, obviously, their date of birth. If they don't live with you, you need to have their address. And like I said, these people, or like I've said in previous videos, they need to be an insurable interest. What that means is it needs to be either a parent, a child, a grandchild, a spouse, or if you are a business owner getting insurance, life insurance on a key employee. You can, like, a key employee would be somebody maybe of like a high executive position, a VP, a president, or something like that of your company, a high management, right? There needs to be that insurable interest there. So you need to have their social. You need to have date of birth. You need to have their address if they don't live with you. If this person drives and they have a driver's license, obviously you need to have their driver's license, at least a picture copy of it, and their driver's license number. And the reason why for the picture copy, just in case your agent needs to attach that to your application prior to submitting your application to the carrier, right? And you need to make sure you either have a smartphone or tablet or a laptop or a desktop computer, because the agent will send you either during or after the application, they'll send you your quote illustration, right? You have to sign off on that. So you need to have something that your email is right there. You can go into your email and you can sign, okay? Make sure, and this is important too, please don't set up a meeting with an agent if you are not ready to get a policy. Don't waste your agent's time, okay? You can look up quotes and everything on your own if you're not ready to submit an application. Now, when you submit an application, here's a tip. When you submit an application, no payment is due at the time the application is submitted. Your agent will advise you, or should advise you, of when you can schedule your initial premium payment to be due, to be paid. Now, every carrier is different, but most of the time, your initial payment is not due on the day of application. So be serious about getting a policy. That's one. Tell the agent what you are comfortable in spending each month for your policies, or policies, the different policies, if you are going to be the payor of your policy and the owner of all the policies. If someone else is paying for your policy, or other people's policies, or whatever the case may be, make sure that they are on that call with you and the agent, okay? Because the last thing we want to hear is that, oh, I need to talk it over with this person or that person, and then I can make a decision. Please, again, don't waste your agent's time, okay? Make sure if you need to make a decision about the policies with someone else, and especially if they're going to be the ones paying for it or owning the policy, they need to be on the call as well, okay? Or you and that person have had a discussion and they've told you, this is how much I can budget for our policies, and you got my go ahead, whatever the agent tells you, and whatever, fine, okay? As you especially married are couples, going through the meeting, as you are going through the meeting with your agent, husband and husband, wife and wife, husband and wife, whatever, you both need to be any questions that come to mind, write it down, okay? Or ask them, and be able to make a decision. You don't have to necessarily wait till all the way to the policy can be built to tailor your budget throughout. Because you should not have to think about to leave the meeting if you have questions as prior, even if you think of questions and your agent, you meet up with your agent, if they are those questions down so you don't forget. They should be asking you every once in a while, what questions can I answer for you, or is there anything, any concerns you may have, or anything of that sort. And if you're unsure about the difference between whole life and term life insurance, ask them to explain that to you, okay? Um, Ask them, obviously, if they are what is considered a non-captive agent, you really wouldn't know what that is, obviously. But a non-captive agent is just basically someone like myself, where I am contracted to work with well over, a dozen carriers. So if one carrier for some reason does not work for you, because I see that you may not qualify for that carrier or their products, I have other carriers that I can process you through. So I'm basically doing the comparison for you. I'm doing the work for you so you don't really have to do it yourself. However, I only work with people who are serious about getting a policy and putting in an application and all that. I am not your human quoting tool. Okay. So that's that. But so ask all the questions you can think of. If you have questions after the meeting, don't be afraid to reach out to the agent and ask your questions. So again, just to kind of recap, um, if you're getting a policy on yourself and you have health conditions or have had health conditions within the last 5 or 10 years, write it down. Any major surgeries, organ transplant type surgeries. Oh, and if you had an organ transplant surgery, make sure to mention if it was from a person who was still alive or at the time was alive, or if it was from a deceased person. Okay, underwriters will want to know that. Okay. Um, Also, if you're getting a policy on someone else, they have to be an insurable interest, either a direct, immediate family member or or if you have legal guardianship over someone, right? Power of attorney, you definitely would have to show proof of that, and there are very few carriers that will accept a power of attorney. But again, if you have that, just mention that to your agent. Okay. If you're getting the policy on other people, you need to have their social available. If they are a licensed driver, you need to have a copy of their driver's license to ready to email or text your agent, or just have their driver's license number available. If they don't live with you, you need to have their address. You need to have their social. You need to have any medications that they take, if any health conditions that they currently have or may have had in the last 5 or 10 years. If they don't have a driver's license, use a state ID or a passport. They need to have that information. This helps you and the agent and the meeting go a little bit quicker. Please advise your agent if you're going to get or going to be putting in more than 2 or 3 policies, because I've had times where I've had a grandparent getting a policy not only on their adult children but also the grandchildren. So those type of meetings can go almost 2 hours even, right? Or hopefully no more than 2 hours or 2.5 hours, but have everyone's information ready to go prior to your meeting so that it goes a little quicker. I would just say, block out at least an hour of your time, so that you have that availability to really talk with your client or your agent rather, and answer any questions or ask any questions that they may have or you may have. Oh my God. Look, I don't know what's going on. Please excuse me. So, like I said, I try to keep it as quick as possible. It's probably running into 15 minutes. Again, Courtney, Scott Financial and Care. All right, so this about wraps it up. If you have any questions for me, head on over to www.scottfinancialcare.com. You can also contact me Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at 800-365-4299. Thank you. Peace.